Why do we suffer from digestive problems? In today's day and age, owing to the changing lifestyle and eating habits, almost everybody are suffering from some sort of digestive issues, from mild to moderate to severe problems of the digestive system or intestines. The basic problems are indigestion, constipation, gastric problem, and the serious ones are cirrhosis of the liver, problems in the pancreas, ulceration of the intestine, Crohn's disease, irritable bowel disease, irritable bowel syndrome, etc., etc., etc. The list goes and becomes unending. And when we develop some sort of discomfort, the first thing we do is to go to the doctors and tell them our symptoms, that these are the problems which I'm facing. And then we are given so many tests. And at the end of the day, there is a conclusion: you have an inflamed liver, or you have an enlarged liver, or you have fatty liver, or you have ulcer in your stomach, or you have ulcer in your intestine, or there is a problem with your small intestine which is not accepting some sort of protein. When you go to the doctors, they tell you the problem and they give you a medicine and tell that as long as you take this medicine, you will feel better. And when you tell the doctor, will I be cured out of my problem? Then the doctor says, take this medicine for 3 to 4 months and then revisit me and I'll check and let you know. This is not only in the case of digestive problem, but if you have blood pressure, you go to the doctor checks your blood pressure and gives you a pressure tablet. If you go for sugar, that is you have diabetes, the doctor tests your fasting sugar and declares that you have sugar and gives you medicine. So as long as you're taking that blood pressure tablet, your pressure will be normal. And as long as you're taking that sugar tablet, your sugar shall be controlled and you shall not develop further symptoms of diabetes. But what is causing the problem? The cause of the problem and also solution can be understood only when you are able to find out what is the crux of the issue, what is creating the problem. So to understand this, you need to see your horoscope. When you analyze your horoscope from a competent astrologer, looking at the condition of the planets in it and looking at the condition of the houses that controls your digestion and other related factors, you can come to a conclusion that why you are facing digestive problems and what adjustment needs to be made to overcome these problems. So hey guys, this is Purab from Purab's Astrology. Let's get started, guys. To see digestion, to see the problems of stomach, liver and intestine, the houses that needs to be analyzed are your second house, your fifth house, your sixth house and your eighth house. Why second house? Second house is the house of your mouth, your teeth, your tongue, the saliva, everything is controlled by the second house. And the process of digestion starts from your mouth. If you don't eat properly by chewing your food, and if enough saliva is not secreted, a major portion of your digestion is not getting completed at the starting stage itself. Remember, our parents used to remind us when we were kids, chew your food properly, then it will digest properly, because the saliva plays an important role in digesting your food. So from the second house, we can find out your eating habits. If you have an afflicted second house, if Rahu, Ketu, Sun, Mars are placed in your second house in bad dignity, that is anemical sign or debilitated, this spoils the starting stage of digestion itself. That is, you don't chew your food properly. You either swallow the food or you gulp it down, but you don't chew it. So the first part is not done properly. The first stage of digestion is not catered to properly. So seeing the position of your second house, the lord of the second house and the planets placed in your second house, the initial part of your digestion can be analyzed. If the lord of the second house is afflicted, if it is placed in the sixth house along with Rahu, Ketu or Saturn, in the eighth house along with Rahu, Ketu or Saturn, or in the 12th house along with Rahu, Ketu or Saturn, then this shows that you don't consume good food, because second house is also the choice of food. that you make on a day-to-day basis. So an afflicted second house spoils your decision-making capability to choose the right food for your body, and you end up eating junk food or food that is not suitable to your system, and this spoils your health, guys. The next house is the fifth house. The fifth house is the house of your stomach, right? So if there is affliction in the fifth house, if Rahu, Ketu, Saturn or Mars is ill placed in your fifth house, or if the lord of the sixth house, which is the house of diseases, is placed in your fifth house, then it can cause diseases of the stomach. For example, Sun is the lord of your sixth house, and your sixth house is Leo, and this Sun is placed in the fifth house in the sign of Cancer, and the lord of the fifth house, Moon, is in the eighth house or in the sixth house or in the 12th house, or is afflicted, weak, debilitated, then this shall cause ulcers, because the energy of Sun is burning the lining of your stomach. So this is causing ulcer, guys. The sixth house is the house where your intestinal system starts, right? So the small intestine comes under the control of your sixth house. Now, if Rahu, Ketu or Saturn is afflicting your sixth house, then this spoils the ability of your intestine to digest and absorb food properly. Ketu will separate, Saturn will cause delay in digestion, and Rahu will make you eat a lot of food because you will think that you are capable of digesting anything, even iron, and you will eat a lot of food, and that will strain your intestine, especially the small intestine. The seventh house is the house of your large intestine, this part, the lower part. Any affliction to the lord of the seventh house creates problems of the large intestine. For example, if you have a debilitated planet in your seventh house, say Saturn is debilitated in your seventh house, then this will cause serious problems of the large intestine. If Sun is placed in the seventh house along with Venus, then what Sun will do is it will burn your seventh house, because Sun is a malefic. So it will burn the water present in your large intestine, because Venus represents water. So this will cause constipation, because constantly you are not drinking water properly. Because of it, less water in the intestine makes your stool hard, and this causes serious constipation problems. The eighth house is the rectum, the portion from where the stool is passed, right? If Saturn is in the eighth house, then this will cause delay to lighten yourself. So you will be sitting in your washroom for hours together, and still the stool or the motion wouldn't come out, because your Saturn is creating delay, right? So if you have Saturn placed in the 8th house from your ascendant chart, or Saturn placed in the 8th house from your moon chart, then this shows delay to defecate yourself. So constipation is caused by Saturn's aspect in the 8th house or Saturn's position in the 8th house. If Mars is debilitated in the 8th house, now Mars controls your blood vessels. So when Mars is debilitated in the 8th house, or Mars is malefically placed with Rahu, Ketu or Saturn in the 8th house, this causes piles, fistula, anal fissure and problems, which creates a burning tendency and pain in your rectum, right? So an afflicted Mars causes painful problems. Now we understood certain malefic combinations which causes problems of the digestive system. But why is this problem getting created? This problem is getting created because you are choosing to intake the wrong sort of food into your system. Any planet which is weakly placed or ill placed in your horoscope, if you consume the food of that particular planet, then that is not absorbed properly in your body, because your body doesn't know what to do with it. It treats that food as a foreign element, and this causes ulceration because your immune system attacks that food and also the area which is enveloping that food. For example, Ketu is ill placed in your horoscope, Ketu is debilitated, and you are consuming onion, garlic, ginger. These are represented by Ketu. So when this onion, garlic or ginger will go to your intestines, your immune system will not accept this and it will try to attack it, and also it will attack the lining of your intestine, and this will cause ulceration of your intestine, guys. So stop consuming the food which is controlled by that planet. If you have a bad Mars in your horoscope, don't consume tomatoes, don't consume masoor dal, right? And don't consume lamb or sheep or goat, because consuming this will create serious problems in your digestive system. So if you consult a proper astrologer and analyze what are the suitable foods which you can consume, then that will help you to overcome these digestive problems. If you have a good Jupiter, you can consume bananas. It will heal your digestive system. If you have a good Venus, then you can consume fig, right? You can make fig juice. This will help to heal your system, right? So you need to analyze what are the foods that are suitable to me and what are the foods that are not suitable to me. If you take food which are controlled by malefically placed planets or debilitated planets, then your system wouldn't accept it properly, and this will cause serious problems to your health and digestive system. So I hope I explained briefly, because this is a huge domain. So the more I can squeeze and give you a crux, the better it is, because it affects the duration of the video. So that's it for today, guys. Take care of your health. Health is wealth, and if you spoil your overall health, then you cannot taste the beautiful essence of life. So take care, guys. I love you all. Adios.